And hello everyone, my name is Kevin O'Brien. I'm here with KT Tactical Design to introduce my product and do an installation today for you of the product so we have a clear understanding on how to install the product. So the product is the Balance Rail System, patent pending, and I'm very proud to bring this to you today. So now we'll open up the product and we'll go through the contents. Okay. Product will include two parts. First part will be a option to install a nylon insert into the product, and mainly we will have the other part of the product and the main part of the product. It is the balance rail system itself, and the body includes a already pre-installed lead weight insert. It's secured by a small screw, and it comes complete with a 1913 Picatinny rail. Alrighty. So we have the two items from the box, and this is everything you'll need equipment-wise to install. The other thing you'll also recommend to have a number 1 jeweler style screwdriver, a pair of tweezers, a scribe, some Loctite. Also recommend alcohol to clean the gun, and if it has to be degreased, you'll probably be wise to use some electrical contact cleaner. It's very safe to use around nylon and plastic, and is a good degreaser. Additionally, you would use a lint-free cloth, and another helpful tool to have is a small vise with rubber jaws. And another option in lieu of that is to use a squeeze clamp, available also at many different stores, Home Depot, Harbor Freight. You can pick this little vise up at Harbor Freight for very inexpensive. You're into building up your own 80% handguns. These small little vices are very nice to have. They're articulating and very useful for handgun maintenance. So now let's move on to our product here. Alrighty. Top of our product, what we're going to be doing today to install this product, we're going to go ahead and we'll be removing a clear film on top of our body assembly, and we'll be removing that with a pair of tweezers. It's very helpful to do that. But first, we'll go ahead and we're going to remove our lead insert as it's held in place with a screw. It's a small machine screw, and again, only small jeweler screwdriver is needed. You'll notice even these small screws that we use are stainless steel, but they're nylon coated, and it's to help you from any rotation screw to stop it from vibrating loose. It's one of the items to help you keep it in there tight. It's also recommended you have some Loctite or some form of Loctite to dab on the screw when you put it back in. Also help keep with the vibration from loosening it in the assembly. So now we have that We'll see a lot of times we can just have the weight fall out, but sometimes like this, I picked this one on purpose because it's a little tighter. So if you use a low offset scribe, you can go ahead and simply insert it into the screw hole and simply push it forward. You'll see that it pops out just ever so much, enough to get your fingers on it, and you can pull the assembly out like so. Okay. Now you also notice in the assembly, it has a window. This window was designed so you can identify your serial number of your gun, and it will be accessible by just simply removing either one of the inserts, either the nylon plastic insert or your lead weight insert. So both will go into the same opening, and will allow you access to have full identification of your weapon. As you see, they'll have serial numbers here, and once it's installed, you can look through the window and you can identify your serial number. Okay. Also, for safety wise, we'll go ahead and remove the magazine. There's no ammo in the magazine. We'll go ahead and verify nothing in the chamber, point it in the safe direction, squeeze the trigger, and now we'll go ahead and remove the slide. We'll simply pull back on it, pull the release down, and your slide will come off. Alrighty. So now the slide, we'll simply put it over here for now, and we'll put it out of the way. Alrighty. So now we have our frame by itself, and we can go ahead and degrease it as necessary. You can spray again a little electrical contact cleaner as needed. This is very important for this product to be clean, so we have proper adhesion to the product. All right. Simply anywhere you think you have grease from oils or from your gun, from lubing and cleaning your gun, simply remove it from the area. You also want to remove it from the trigger housing area, as this assembly will rest down this area here and alongside both sides of our frame. Okay. Well, now we're going to go ahead and pour some alcohol isopropyl. You can get it at any of your local pharmacies. 70% will work just fine, or 90%, whatever you get, will work just fine to remove any other leftover solvents and dirt from our assembly. Alrighty. So now we thoroughly wipe that down. The outside of the trigger housing we wipe down, and the frame. As we let that dry for a few minutes, and we'll see that the next point we have to do is to remove this clear film. This clear film is covering the adhesive that is pre-installed and custom cut to fit your assembly here. So all you have to do is simply remove that, and again, this is where the tweezers will come into play. So we want to simply find a surface to grab the clear cover, we go. Simply remove a corner. I recommend from the forward end because the lines are much cleaner. And we'll simply pull back this clear film. And we'll keep pulling back until we remove the clear film from the assembly. Alrighty, we can discard that. And now the adhesive is ready to be installed. This is a permanent installation and will be a permanent modification to your gun's frame. So if you do not want to permanently install this, there's other products out there that you can do if you only want a light rail. But this is a balanced rail system, and it's not just a light rail. So now, once you've confirmed you want to install your product, this is a permanent modification and will not come off. So now we're going to simply line the back of the housing up with the trigger housing, and we're going to simply slide it down until we make contact, pushing it all the way aft, and then we want to make contact fully aft with our assembly. Okay, and we'll press to get it together. Now we have two options, as I mentioned. You can simply use a squeeze clamp by placing over the end of the frame and squeezing down and adding pressure. This is one method, and you're going to leave it this way for 24 hours. You have to add good pressure to it, so it will permanently adhere to your frame. So now, the other preferred method that I use is where we were earlier. And that is my little vise I use for gun maintenance. It has a little suction cup to surfaces, and you can adjust as needed. So now we'll simply loosen it up and place our frame in the area, and we want to apply it under some pressure, not a whole lot, just some pressure. Remember, we're using rubberized vice jaws here, so it's not going to damage our frame, and we don't want to add enough pressure that we're going to force the frame to widen out. We just want enough pressure to make it fairly snug. And now, at this point, we can let the gun sit for 24 hours. Once this sets for 24 hours, we'll resume the video and we'll continue with the final installation of our product. And here we are for part 2 of our video installation. As you can see, we're here 24 hours later, and we're ready to remove our frame from the vise and check on it's properly adhered to the, our product is adhered to the frame. And Yes, it is. Now we can see that our product is installed. And now we can go ahead and complete the installation. So now we're going to go ahead and let's remove our vise. And we'll remove it out of the way. So now we're back to our options for installing either our leaded weight insert, or we're going to install our non-weighted insert, or nylon insert that we can use as another option if the weight is not in some circumstances the best ideal for you. So now we'll go ahead and I'll show you what the nylon insert. We're simply going to install it same way till it's flush, and then we're going to see that its screw insert is aligned with the hole, and we're simply going to install our screw. Again, you only want to use a small jeweler screwdriver. And slowly screw it in. You're going to have some resistance because it's nylon coated. When you get it in, you just want it snug. You don't need to over torque it. You got maybe 15 inch-pounds of torque on this, and that's about all you're going to need. Okay, now our insert is installed, and we see we have the black face is now complete for this insert. So now again we take away the insert. We'll install the leaded insert. Here we go. And now you'll see the weighted insert is molded to the design of the interior structure of the product. And we'll simply go ahead and slide it in until it's flush. Again, we'll see that it's lined up. The screw hole is lined up. And we'll go ahead and use our nylon insert. But before we do that, one thing I recommend is to go ahead and make sure we add some Loctite, different brands available. Not much is needed. And we'll simply put the screw there. And we'll go ahead and bring it in. Again, you're going to have a little resistance, which is good. And then we'll bring it in till it is flush and just a little more snugness to it. Again, this is maybe 10-15 inch-pounds of torque needed, not much more. No need to over torque this, as you may induce that problem. Remember, this insert is, even though it's metal, it's lead, it's a very soft metal, and you can overcome the restraining system by over torquing it, and this could cause you an issue. Okay, so now we have it completely installed. We have a clean up our little bit of our mess there. And let's go ahead and put the frame back together. Right. First, we have our slide, 40-43. have our finished product.